Welcome to the Construction Trailblazers Podcast. This is a punch list episode, your quick run through of the most impactful moments from my full interviews with our guests. If you want to catch the full conversations, head to constructiontrailblazers.com. This punch list episode is from my conversation with Andy Bergman, a communication coach and trainer for blue-collar teams. We're going to dive into one of the moments that really shaped how Andy looked at conflict resolution and giving tough feedback.
And I remember being new in the HR role, and I got a call from an apprentice who said that he didn't like working with his foreman. And my first thought's like, get over it. It's work, shut up, you're an apprentice. Because the thing is we liked the foreman. His jobs did really well. They were profitable. The general contractor really liked him. He was organized. He was very responsive. So on all accounts, he was awesome. But this apprentice didn't like working with him. He said he was micromanaging and he would hover over him. And he was really harsh with feedback and he would come off as rude. So I ignored it. A couple weeks later, I get a call from another apprentice. And same thing. He says, I want to go do a different job. And so I was visiting with the other leaders in the company and I had asked, who we visit with this foreman? We can call him Fred. So we bring him into the conference room one afternoon and it's me being HR, another manager to my left, and the Fred is across the conference room table. And we are awkward. Like, how do you tell somebody nobody likes you? Mm-hmm. Like, heart rate is up, sweaty. I don't remember exactly what we said to him, but essentially we say the apprentices were getting feedback. They don't really like you. You need to change. And he looked at us and he said, how long have you guys known about this? And we're like, easy now with the hard question. I don't know. And so I'm looking down because I'm awkward and I don't really want to look at him, looking at the wooden table. And I look up and he's looking at me and he's crying, has tears in his eyes. He said, why didn't you guys tell me? And I thought, good point. I don't know why we didn't. And the frustrating thing is when we don't have these kind of conversations with people, it doesn't benefit Fred. It doesn't benefit the apprentices. It doesn't benefit the job. Like, it benefits nobody except for one person. It benefits me because I don't have to be uncomfortable. So it's selfish, isn't it? With giving feedback or having hard conversations, oftentimes the reasons we avoid them, and especially in a leadership capacity, is out of selfishness.
Communication and conflict resolution can sometimes feel like the trendy buzzwords that people just talk about to get attention on LinkedIn. And we can often skip over the core and practical elements of a strategy. So I asked Andy to really break that down for us.
Communication at the foundation is simple, though. It's just the sending and receiving of information. Communication is simple, but the reason why we make it complicated as humans is because we have these things called emotions. We put a spin on things and we make assumptions and we feel certain ways, and we have this thing called our ego and our pride that makes things messy.
Ego shows up in leadership way more than we think, especially when we care about being respected or looking competent. Andy shared a moment when a client realized his ego was quietly running the show.
We were going over the topic of humility and ego and how it relates to communication, because I think communication breaks down oftentimes because our pride gets in the way. We start to prioritize our image versus solving the problem. And at the end of the course, he had said, I didn't even think I had an ego. He said, now I know that I do. I just have to learn how to control it.
Yeah, well, I would also argue it's not just about learning how to control it. Like, that's maybe step 2 or 3. And step 1 there is really realizing when he's poking his head out, right? We've all heard the phrase, clear is kind. But that doesn't mean being blunt or overly direct is the solution. Andy broke down what real clarity looks like and how most leaders miss the mark by focusing on the person, not the behavior.
Clear is kind. I think the challenge of being clear is the hard part. If I were to tell you, Samantha, you are lazy and you're not a good fit on this team, that may be direct and it could be partially true, but it's not clear. What do I actually mean? What behaviors are you showing? That's the problem. If I were to tell you things like you respond to Slack messages in like 3 or 4 hours, and you've been showing up to meetings consistently 20 to 30 minutes late, and when our work is due on Friday at 5 p.m., you're not sending it in until Saturday. If I can break down these specific behaviors, it makes it so much easier to deliver that with empathy, because you're focusing on the problem itself and not attacking the person or attacking their character.
So much of leadership in construction isn't about just running the job. It's about having the courage to say what needs to be said, whether it's putting egos in check, being clear instead of just blunt, or finally giving feedback before it's too late. Communication is the difference between keeping good people or losing them. If this hit home, go listen to the full conversation with Andy Bergman for even more insight. And as always, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, or catch up on all of our past episodes at constructiontrailblazers.com.